Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Scouting. We are here on Prohorovka. I'm in my T71 and it's a 56%er. Really nice matchup for this tank. I'm a tier 7 light tank or scout, but it's only a tier 8 game, and I'm not going to be doing anything in this video you haven't seen me do before. I'm going to be starting off passively, then going into active mode towards the end of the game, but I'm platooned. I'm a platoon with Neolon Travels in her WZ-132, the Chinese Tier 8 light tank, and I'm also platooned with Jack 1011 Edwards, who decided to play his GW Panther. Now the difference between this and a lot of my other scouting videos is I'm platooned, and I'm platooned with an arty. So I've got confidence that what I'm spotting is going to be shot by my platoon mates, if not my team. So let's just get going. As per always on Prohorovka, and I've gotten an incredibly good spawn here, I'm going to be heading up to E1. So if you're not actively scouting along the F line and G lines in the center of the map, it's really good to have at least one scout up in the bush at E1, if not to counter enemy scouts going up there, but to use it yourself. Neolon's going to be working the mid-ridge, and I'm going to be heading up to E1. Now, I don't have a lot of support yet, but I do know that Jack has my back. We've already been talking on TeamSpeak, and Jack's going to be shooting what I'm spotting, so I've moved up to the bush, gonna let my binocs kick in, and let the spots commence. There we go, so there's a Tiger 2, and it's just up to my team to hit him. But as you can see, most of my team are not in a position to hit the Tiger 2. But Neolon is, and Neolon has started putting shots in. Now I've spotted another Tiger 2 and a T74. But in the meantime, Neolon's continuing to work on that Tiger 2, who's basically running into the corner of the map. Another shot in. Now that's the best player on the enemy team, and we have completely destroyed his game. Someone else gets another shot in, and Jack's aiming, and anytime now. Oh, unfortunately, Jack gets him, but he drops into stealth just as he dies. That means I don't get the XP and credits from that kill. All of that goes to Jack because it was an invisible tank. But in the meantime, spotting lots of tanks up here. Apparently the Tiger 2 was not very happy, but getting lots of spots here. T34 is spotted, IS3 is spotted, AMX 1390 is spotted. Now, something you may not be aware of that I'm going to be covering in a future video is basically I'm not getting all the spotting damage here. These tanks are also being spotted by Neolon in the middle in our WZ-132. So yeah, there's nothing more. That Tiger 2 is at the edge of my view range. I decide, you know what, let's double bush this T34. There we go. So we're just taking him out. But the way the spotting mechanics work, if you are the only tank spotting the enemy tank when it is hit, you get half the XP and credits. But if more than one tank is spotting that enemy tank, the credits and XP are shared. So there may have been as many as 3 different tanks spotting those guys, and that would have meant only getting about 13-14% of the XP and credits due to the fact there were more than one tank spotting. So anyway, I've decided my effectiveness is gone. I only knew there was a Tiger 2 down here. Went down to take care of the Tiger 2 and run into that IS-3. Get quite lucky that he only does track damage, doesn't actually hurt me. And the T71 is not a tank you can really fire on the move. As you can see, I'm bouncing a lot of shots, missing a lot of shots, but I'm just circling this guy to death and my team are going to work. There we go. Finally! So this flank is secure. There is one arty in play. It's very likely he's hiding down at A6, so I'm moving erratically. And we're going to pop the ridge and see if we can surprise him if he's here. And yes, he is. So again, miss a shot on the move, miss another shot, but he's mine now. So we take him out for kill number 2. But this is all about the spotting damage. So I was passive, went into active mode, and now it's suicide. Enemy team still have 7 tanks, so it would be suicide to cross this ridge. So basically all I'm doing is I'm poking, I'm spotting, and I'm falling back into cover. Now I do take a risk and I do sit here. This is a game that was played on stream, and I tell my viewers that, you know what, I'm not getting enough spots here, so I'm gonna poke, and if I get hit, I get hit, and unfortunately, yes, I get hit. I was thinking maybe I could use those trees for cover, but so I'm just trying to get spots here. I want to spot the AT-15 again. Jack's still doing work. He takes out the AT-15. So the tank that was worrying me and that was pre-aimed at my spotting position is now dead, which means I can move up, I can spot, and my sixth sense hasn't gone off. So our team are moving in, waiting for someone to take out this 110. Jack Edwards gets another kill, takes out the T72. Double bushing this Carnarvon, and I get spotted, so I fall back. But my team are now moving in aggressively on this 110, and I decide, you know what, I'm not going to get any more spotting damage, so let's go. But I think one of the reasons I actually enjoy playing this tank more than I enjoy playing the Chaffee these days is the fact it's just so much more maneuverable. It's got a much better gun, and it's just much more versatile. You would have a far harder time in a Chaffee cleaning up at the end of games like this. So 5100, dangerous tank. Don't know if he's loaded, but other guys are getting shots in. He's down to 285 health. I can take 2 hits from him, so I decide to risk it. And we take him out for kill number 3. So Jack picked up 3 kills, I picked up 3 kills, and Neilon had a good game too. So that was another ace tanker in the T71. Didn't get that many kills, didn't do as much damage as maybe I've done in previous games, but it was still a really good game. As you can see, finished top on XP with 1342 and did 1100 damage with 3 kills. Jack had a really good game in his arty, did 3000 damage with 3 kills, earned over 1000 XP. And Neilon had a really good game in her WZ-132 patrolling the mid-ridge. She did 1613 damage and also managed to pick up almost 3000 spotting damage. So I fired 19, hit 14, and only penned 10. Unfortunately, a lot of my shots were on the move, and the gun is not accurate on the T71 when you fire like that, but you can still be effective and you can still get damage. Spotted 6, damaged 4, destroyed 3, and got 5,164 assistance damage. So the spot at E1 that I use, I've used it on previous videos, nothing new there, but it was just a little bit of passive scouting followed by active scouting, and knowing that my platoon mates were there to back me up and damage tanks I was spotting. I earned 46,000 credits for that game on a premium account, 2013 XP on a ×2, and also there was some sort of bonus event going on at the time, so I ended up with a very healthy 4,529 XP. So I'm always happy with another ace tanker. It was a good game, but more importantly, it was a really good performance from the platoon. Neilon and I had really good backup from Jack. Jack was able to do a lot of damage and hit a lot of tanks on targets that both Neilon and I were spotting. Neilon was also able to get shots and active scout from the mid-ridge, while I did the more passive scouting thing in E1. So scouting when you're in a platoon is not a bad idea. Basically, you can rely on your platoon mates to hit the target you're spotting, and you can't always do that with your teammates. Lost count of the number of games where I've spotted tanks and my teammates were unable to hit them or just weren't in a position to do it. But when you've got platoon mates, you can trust them to do damage and you can have some really good scout games. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.